And we're live, and only a few minutes late. Needed to get that Orion Yadge online. Anyways, I am your host, Commander Get Good Fox of Ronin Fox Armored Security, and this is MechWarrior 5. Vanilla, unmodified, but with all of the DLCs, all of them. We just finished the Rise of Rasalhague last time, and so now we are in the interlude in between Rise of Rasalhague and the Dragon's Gambit. How is it going, Mech Warriors? As usual, I'm joined by my usual... Oh, wow, I realized something is wrong. Good thing I can fix it, though. Let me, Oh, am I not allowed to do that? Okay, I'm not allowed to do that in the middle of the stream. That's annoying. Okay, I'm going to have to turn the stream on and off because we are currently in TikTok view. Give me a second. We got to do, like, got TikTok. We're stuck in TikTok view. Actually, you know what? I bet I don't need to end the stream. I bet I can just... Well, if I do, I'll just start it right back up. But it won't let me change the aspect ratio. Streaming. Let's see if it connects.
Yep, back to normal.
Oh, did it come back up?
Yeah.
All right. Do we have the normal view? Like, is it still in TikTok view?
Yeah,
it's still in
No,
TikTok.
it's good now. No, it's good
no.
for me.
Oh, okay. It's fine now.
Yeah, on my screen. What does everybody else see? I wonder if everybody else is working.
So, like, my view is always behind schedule. So, like, I'm gonna have to
Mine looks normal now.
Let me just check for my own sanity. Yeah, that's pretty cool that I can basically deactivate open broadcast software without disconnecting my stream. Oh god. Advertisement. Okay, yeah, it looks fine. All right, we're good. All right. So, as I was saying, we are back, and now I have things in the... So this is why I'm paranoid about it. Like, when I look at mine, it shows my... My view is still in the TikTok view, because it's behind the actual live stream, so I'm just going, oh shit, like, what's going on? Okay, so we're online. We just finished the Rise of Rasalhague last stream, so we are in the interlude between the Rise of Rasalhague and Dragon's Gambit, which is the War of 3039. So, you know, we have a little bit of time in order to prepare. We would need to make sure we use it fairly wisely, as the Rise of Rasalhague... No, not Rise of Rasalhague. The Dragon's Gambit is a decent step up in difficulty compared to... this Stalker hasn't been painted. Which Stalker is this? You. So yeah, we have some time to prepare. And I guess I'll talk a little bit about the Mech Bay. Also, how's it going? Freddy 4x4, welcome to the show. So I have spent some of our money, not all of it. We were up to about 100 million C-bills, especially after I sold a few extra mechs that we didn't need, and I sold some of our spare weapons that we didn't need. I went ahead and bought a few more mechs, so we've got 6 Stalkers now. And one of our interesting acquisitions is the Stalker 3FB. I got this from Terra, which is a pretty good place to get Star League variants. A very random which ones you'll get. But this one is a Stalker that actually has an ECM. I went ahead and downgraded it from the Guardian ECM to the standard countermeasures because we're not using Lost Tech just yet. But in the future, it will go back to how it was. Now, we also got a Battlemaster 1P. This one is interesting for having lighter equipment. You know, it doesn't have the 6 lasers. It has 4. But it has both a probe option and an ECM jammer option, both of which I downgraded. Actually, they might have always been the, the primitive versions of them. But once again, those will also get upgraded into superior variants eventually. What else did I get? I got us a awesome 8V. So the 8V is the opposite of the 8R. So basically, so your 8Q is, ye old awesome with the 3 PPCs. The 8R is the awesome that drops 2 PPCs in favor of 2 missile hardpoints. Well, the 8V is the opposite of that. It has, it's being modified right now. So it has, instead of dropping 2 PPCs for 2 missiles, it drops 1 PPC for a missile. So it's got 2 PPCs and it's got a missile. So, it gives you a little bit of variety, I suppose. And then I also cleaned up the mech bay a pretty good bit. Like, I left 2 scout mechs in the event we do a infiltration. And I left this champion 1NB because I don't think we used it very much. And I left our 4 Orions, just to kind of... the Orions have been doing really good, to be honest. So, I just kind of left them there. We got our 4 Awesomes so that we can run an entire lance of Awesomes. And also, we just don't use the Awesome enough. We got 4 Battle Masters. Battle Master is a great mech. And then, of course, I stocked up on a lot of Stalkers because if we look at the mechs that we're allowed to use, the Stalker is going to become our main, heavy-duty battle mech because the Bull Shark is really hard to find. We can only get a single Atlas 2. And the Stalker is better than the Awesome. So, the Stalker is going to become our general, everyday purpose, just heavy-duty assault mech. The Battlemaster being our, more fast, probably, the literal assault mech designed to, assault the enemy. And if we can get the Bull Shark, sure. If we can get enough Bull Sharks, maybe we will make the Bull Shark our primary assault mech. But, that's really, not very likely to happen. Anyways, quick news for what's going on in your world of Battletech. So, for the channel, the Flea video, I have chosen a test model for it. So the Flea, it took me a little while to figure out how I wanted to modify the Flea. And I guess I'll give you guys the sneak peek. The Flea that I chose is actually going to be a ballistics-focused Flea. I came up with 4 models. The first one I named the X1 Incendiary, which was a flamer model. It actually didn't do very well. And the reason it didn't do that well is actually because of the speed. Anytime I was fighting other light mechs that were faster, or even medium mechs like an assassin, I fought an assassin that was faster, I basically couldn't really do anything. Not literally, but I was at the mercy of the pilot allowing me to get close. And it was actually really, really annoying. It was not great. Then I did the X2 model, the Kai model. The Kai model, Kai is the Japanese, Kai means a lot of things in Japanese, but one of the things that Kai can mean in Japanese is basically change. And so it denotes, it is basically a refinement of the existing model. So it's basically a full armor Flea that has a lot of the same weapons it originally had, just kind of drop the flamer for another laser, a small laser. And it also, it did better than the Incendiary model, but if you want to get right down to it, it really didn't do that good either because although it had the 2 medium lasers, it still really struggled to catch up to the mechs that were slower or that it was faster. The mechs that is faster than the Flea, and a lot of times I just felt like I A lot of times I just felt like I couldn't do anything. So I actually flanked that one out. Both the Incendiary Flea and the full armor Flea, they did not complete the mission without at least one member of the Lance losing a component of some kind. So they flunked the test. The X3 model of the Flea that I tested, what I call the Gunner type. And the Gunner type actually used a pair of light rifles and 5 small lasers. And that one surprisingly did really well. But the reservation I had with it is I feel like it requires a little too much skill to use. I don't think it's fair to ask a beginner MechWarrior to make use of 2 light rifles due to their slow fire rate and the hit-and-run accuracy needed. But nevertheless, it did surprisingly well because it gave it some range, and it also gave it, when it did have an opportunity to do damage, it could do a lot of damage. It did a lot of burst damage, which was really good for the hit-and-run style of the Flea. Then I came up with one more model, the X it was basically the X3K, so the X4, but it's like a modification of the X3. So the X3 Gunner Kai, so it's a refinement of the Gunner model. This one kept the 5 small lasers and dumped the 2 light rifles in favor of a single AC2 burst fire. And this one also did really good. Both of the gunner models managed to complete the test trial without anyone in the lance losing any components. And what really made this AC2 model nice is the fact that the flea is so fragile. There are times when I want to get into the fight, but it's too dangerous. And the AC2 allowed me to either pick away at lighter vehicles at a distance, at like 1,000 kilometers or so, and then if I felt the enemy was too dangerous to engage, I could still like wear them down with the AC2, which is more than capable of wearing down other light mechs and earlier medium mechs. And it let me basically like soften them up safely at a distance while I allowed my allies to get the attention of the enemy. And once the AI began fighting my allies instead of me, I could then get into close range and employ the small lasers. If they were faster than me, I could still chase them with the AC2. And because the AC2 had such high projectile velocity, it made it feel pretty comfortable when using the small lasers at the same time. So that is the model that I have chosen for the official flea video, is the X3K Gunner Kai, 5 small lasers and 1 AC2, which might be a little bit surprising. It surprised me. I actually thought the X2 Kai, the enhanced laser model, was going to do the best. But one of the things that makes the flea much harder to use in these tests is I am doing instant action, so I don't have the benefit of Mason's like piloting skill. Like if I go to my barracks, you know, you can see my Mason is 54 out of 60, so I've got like maximum defense, 9 out of 10 heat efficiency, and 10 out of 10 evasion. That really makes the difference. That's a huge difference maker when operating a flea. In instant action, I don't get the highly powerful Commander Mason benefits. I have to use level 1 weapons, so I don't have the benefit of using like high quality weapons. And my allies, I set them to green skill level, so they also weren't very good. And that made it surprisingly difficult. Like, why do I have a salary of 1,000 C-bills? Like, I own the company. Like, why I have to pay myself a salary even though I own the company? That's funny. So that is what is going on with the flea video. In other channel news, feel free to join the Discord because I am hosting kind of historic mech viewing anime, basically. We are going through mecha anime and watching how the rise of the real robot genre came about. Battletech was heavily inspired by stuff like Macross, Fist of the Sun Dugram. I actually haven't seen that one. I have seen Macross, though. But we are going through what inspired them first, which is Gundam. Gundam did not necessarily directly inspire Battletech, but Battletech was inspired by the copycats of Gundam, because Gundam founded the real robot genre, and then the success of Gundam naturally caused copycats in the same way that, you know, PUBG led to, like, Fortnite and so forth. And Gundam was not popular out of Japan, so the creators of Battletech, Jordan Weissman and everyone, they got their hands on some Macross kits and stuff like that, and that's where a lot of their inspiration came from. So the Glitch says the salary to the self is for bookkeeping process. That's interesting. You know, I wouldn't have considered that. Primark says so that you can fire yourself. Freddie says that paying yourself a salary gives you tax write-offs. Oh, I forgot. You know, yeah, you could probably do all of those things. Like, technically, I can write my room as a tax write-off for YouTube. I'd have to calculate the square footage of the house, though, so I don't get, like, audited. And they're like, how dare you write off more 1 square foot more than what you're actually worth. So yeah, there in the chat is a link into the Discord. Anyone is welcome to attend. Anime Night is on Tuesday and Thursday in the Discord at 10 p.m. EDT. We're in daylight savings now, so UTC -4. Depending on how things go with the sheriff, I may push the streams back to 5 p.m. EDT because I don't think Europe doesn't do daylight savings time, right? Do they? They don't do that, right?
No, it does.
It's just a little different schedule.
Yeah, so in the autumn time we start a week earlier, and then in the springtime, I guess we start 2 weeks later.
Okay, so it'll correct itself. And okay, good to know.
Yeah, well, yes.
All right, here's your BattleTech news. There isn't a lot of news for there's very little news for there's no news actually for MechWarrior 5. There is some miscellaneous news. I pulled some stuff off of Sarna. I'm just gonna blow through these because they don't really have to do with MechWarrior 5, but they do have something to do with BattleTech at large and MechWarrior Online. Apparently there was a new Lance of Kurita miniatures. It was like the Avatar, the Chimera, the Panther, and then one other one I don't remember. But it was a set of 4. Apparently they were really popular, like Catalyst sold out of them very rapidly. A new book, Star-Crossed Warriors, has come out. Catalyst Games has announced that their stance with AI is that they are mostly against the usage of AI. They're basically like, they're okay with using AI for brainstorming, but they don't want to use AI for anything else. Sarna, the fandom page, basically concurs, and they say they are not going to use AI to generate any articles. So the tariffs that the U.S., the current U.S. regime was using apparently got struck down by the Supreme Court. That's relevant to Catalyst Games because their production is in China. So the reduction of these may result in better prices. Who knows? We'll have to see. In MechWarrior Online, they added 4 new clan upgraded inner sphere mech variant, well 3, and then they added like an oddball to the MechWarrior Online. There's basically a clan upgraded Atlas 2, Battlemaster, and Awesome, and then there's also an Ebon Jaguar, which is kind of the oddball since you can't clan upgrade an Ebon Jaguar because it's already a clan mech. And that is your news in BattleTech. So what are we going to do today? So we are Gooning in Gunzburg. I always love to start. Every stream after Rise of Rasalhague has to start on Gunzburg because Tor Miraborg tells us to never return to Gunzburg ever again. So I have to start every following stream after completing the Rise of Rasalhague in Gunzburg. In fact, maybe I'll even buy something. Let me see. There's got to be something I can buy here as a souvenir. Yeah, I'll buy a PPCX, this shitty, crummy PPCX as a souvenir to remember, so I can goon in Gunzburg. What we're actually going to be doing, though, is in the objectives log, we got this interesting mission here, Operation Onada Part 1. The reason it's interesting is because if we complete it, in addition to getting an extra 4 million C-bills, we will get an Orion ON1M. And that's one of the mechs we don't have. If we look here in the Orion category, we need the M, the Protector Hero model, the XM1 Solaris model. We have the Edge. Let me mark that we've got the Edge. So we need the M. And, we could probably buy an M at some point in time, but why bother doing that when we need to do some missions? And we also need to, get another model. So here we are. We're going to Degolan, I guess. And off we go. We have definitely done this mission before because we did a stream where we did every single mission in the game, but that doesn't mean I remember what each mission is about. This one's kind of interesting. Look, difficulty 70, but 220 drop weight. That's kind of interesting. Looks like it's a beachhead.
Great.
So a high difficulty, low tonnage beachhead. I wonder how that's going to play out. Let's go and grab some salvage. And maybe a little bit of damage coverage, and the rest in C-bills.
Heads up, Commander. Weather conditions in the area will restrict visibility.
All right, any idea what you'd like to use?
I'll use the Edge.
The Edge.
Straight in there.
Did it finish?
For...
Oh, it's done?
Yep. The Edge for the beachhead.
Beachhead. I might use this. Oh, this thing didn't get painted.
That mech is so weird.
Yeah, let me paint this guy real fast. There we go. Yeah, we haven't. I want to make sure I'm using some mechs that we haven't used. Did we really vote for the? Yeah, we did vote for the champion. What am I gonna put them in?
Well, what we got left? We've got. Well, what's it?
Yeah, that's about it. I'll put them in. I don't know, like an awesome, I guess. Awesome. Wait, no, the awesome isn't fast enough. I'll put him in a battle master. I'll put him in this like weird battle master. Well, I don't want to put him in the weird battle master because like maybe we'll want to use that. I'll put him in this battle master 1D, and I think that's fine. I've got a little bit extra speed here, which is nice, so I'll be able to. And I'm a heavy mech, so I can crash through walls pretty easily. That was actually an interesting question I saw on Reddit. I forgot to copy the question down because I did like it, but
still contain a sizable force on Dagolan.
let me hear it. Oh, it is Dagolan. I pronounced it right.
We will need to establish a beachhead in the Ronin Sea's territory.
Beachhead.
See that it gets done.
Beachhead.
Sorry about the long walk.
He's very angry.
I can't fly any closer.
I was too distracted when he said beachhead, so I honestly don't
really-
remember.
Once you've captured this
Thing's kind of moody.
our employer will be able to land their invasion force.
He probably knows he only has like he has a very limited amount of time before he gets conquered by like the Ghost Bear Dominion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch these around. I don't even know who we're fighting. I guess are we fighting? I think we're fighting Ronins again.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, so yeah, this guy on Reddit asked a pretty interesting question. I didn't write it down, but I remember what the question was. So he was basically like, what is the point of the heavier mechs that are faster than normal? So not literally just literally a heavy mech like a like a dragon, for example, but any mech that is above its weight class, or that has speed that's above its weight class. So like like the Charger, the Dragon, the Banshee, amongst many others. Like, what is the point of? And feel free to weigh in as well, Chad, if you've got some thoughts on like what are the points of mechs that are faster than their. Oh, we got a reconnaissance mech up ahead. Not too big a deal. And I think it's a fair question because it can be very mysterious in the beginning. You might see, like, why would I ever want to use a mech that is faster than its weight? Because you do pay extra in the tonnage. Like, here we go. You put him down. That was. I mean, it was a locust, so I suppose it's not saying much, but still. I'm just gonna try to sneak past these guys.
Enemy radar dish destroyed.
This mech is hot. Hot. Hot.
So is my mech, but we are in a sulfur biome.
Yeah, true.
The sulfur biome does not do you any favors when it comes to heat. Oh, he's stuck. I think he's stuck. Okay, he was stuck. Who's shooting me? So you know what's ironic is, so we have a question revolving around mechs that are fast for their weight. And wouldn't you know it, I am piloting a mech that is fast for its weight. I am currently operating a champion, and despite the champion being a heavy mech, it is pretty quick. It's got the average speed of a medium mech. Now, one of the reasons why it's an advantage to have a fast... Now, there's a limit. There's a limit. Like, being faster is not always better. There is such a thing as being too fast to the point that, it's like nonsense. A good example of that is the Charger. The Charger is so fast, the speed is so high that it leaves basically no room whatsoever for any other equipment, because the engine necessary to power the mech is it's just silly. So it's not to say that speed is always an improvement. Likewise, the reverse is also not true. When you get a mech that's slower, that's not necessarily, it could be an improvement, but there can also be limits to it. Like the Annihilator is a good example where, for example, let's say you did an Annihilator on this mission. That would be very difficult to do. Now, we're very fortunate that there's no artillery, but if there was artillery, that would make it really inconveniencing. Like, your ability to dodge artillery in a mech going like 30 kilometers per hour is suspect at the best of times. Now, if the speed doesn't matter, then, oh god, there's a lot of mechs over here. I am trying to find cover, but because we are in a biome that plants don't grow in, there's no trees or anything, I didn't realize that I walked right into the enemy's main camp because I'm busy talking, and by talking, I have limited my brain power. Like, that's one of the things that, you know, like, you don't know it until you become a streamer. The way using your brain and trying to talk and play at the same time, you can't do either very well. And that's exactly... I'm kind of annoyed that I can't destroy these turrets in one hit. Got this dragon. They're overheating as well, so you can see that what SRMs we have is showing that they're also having a real problem with this really hot terrain. This hot biome is not working well for them either. Maybe we should leave that guy. I'm going to turn our guy's gunfire off. Let's leave him. So, because as long as we don't kill him, they should not initiate the next phase of the mission, which is the reinforcements phase.
Yep, I agree.
So I'm ordering my guy to cease fire, like putting the AI on hold fire. Not an ability, not a command that comes in handy very often, but in this case, I have found a niche use for it. It's one of those examples of how it shows you, a little bit of creativity. Like, some ingenuity and creativity goes a lot way in command. And what I can do is, even though I have him on hold fire, I can still manually order him to attack people, and that does fine. Like, he will fire only at the people I tell him to shoot at. Now that we've cleared the target, I can tell him to resume fire, which, let me see, make sure I did that. Okay, he's good. I see the urban mech behind us, so I'm going to order him to move forward. You know, there's a good chance that he could just turn around and be like, hey, I want to fight that guy behind us. I don't want him to do that, though. I want to make sure that he goes straight forward, so I'm just going to order him to move to this location. He's already doing it. He's taking some shots at the urban mech. That's not what we want to happen. A patent tank. Even though there's no mechs here, this is still pretty heavy resistance. I'll give it to him.
Scratch that one. Enemy radar capability has been disabled. The relay system is...
All right, now I'm going to put him on open fire. And I'm going to tell him to follow me. And now we're going to get our reinforcements, and we did it without activating the final phase. Just an extra safety precaution. Like, not that it was necessary. Now we have to locate wherever that urban mech went. There he is. So, okay, now we can go back to that question. What is the advantage of being a mech that is fast for its weight class? So I already established the idea that there is such a thing as too fast. You can go so fast that you don't have any room left for weapons. That's not good. You can go so slow that you basically are only useful as a turret, basically, and anything that involves traveling becomes very painful. So it is possible to go too far in each direction. But so what is the advantage of being faster? One of the advantages is that you have the ability to smash through walls if you are a heavy mech. So this mech is the champion, and the champion has the speed of a medium mech. So why use a champion when you can just use like a Shadowhawk? Well, one of the answers is that the Shadowhawk can't smash through walls. Smashing through walls is really handy. What's so good about smashing through walls? Well, one of the obvious reasons is that it lets you demolish enemy bases better, because the walls of an enemy base in a demo mission, they do count towards the destruction total. And sometimes you can fight some bases that are really, really stubborn, where the base wants you to destroy basically every atomic particle of the base before it's counted as destroyed. And yeah, that could include the walls. And what you can do is just walk through the walls in a straight line, like, and you'll just like mow them down, like kind of like a lawnmower. And then you can tilt your torso to the side and shoot into the building at the same time. And it's a surprisingly handy way to destroy a base. And that's something that a heavy mech can do, and a light and a medium mech would not be able to do that. So that's an example, one simple example. Other example, and this is a more minor, advantage, but it can still add up, is that a champion still has more room for weaponry than a Shadowhawk. He's going to have like a little bit more room. Not a whole lot more room because of the engine, but a little bit more room. Most of that room is probably going to go to armor. That's where that extra space is probably going to go, but that still translates to being better armored than a Shadowhawk by comparison, or a Trebuchet, or any other, mech, or like a crab or something. So that's another advantage. Now, if you're fine with having a bit less armor, you probably could take one ton of armor off of the champion to give it armor more comparable to like a crab or a Shadowhawk or a Wolverine, and then you'll actually have a little bit more space for weaponry. So that's another advantage. A third advantage is that, mechs have different weapon configurations. The standard champion, for example, has 4 lasers, an autocannon, and a missile. Well, that's not what the Shadowhawk has. The Shadowhawk has lighter weaponry options than that, so you might prefer one of these faster mechs just because they have a different configuration of weapons, including the potential for heavier payloads of weapons, because they are technically a larger mech. Another advantage to using a faster mech that's of a heavier weight class is that once you do make it into that new weight class, where's the enemy at? Looking around for enemies. I'm gonna go attack that artillery, because I don't know where the enemy is. And also,
I'll go the other way.
Yeah.
There are only 6
That was
remaining
rude.
enemies.
Got shot by an elite turret. Rude.
That's close enough. Ready to start pickup operation.
So another advantage is once you enter into a new weight class, you get access to that weight class's melee weapons. So like for an assault mech, this would be more pronounced on an assault mech. Like if you think of like a Cyclops. The Cyclops is a very fast 90-ton mech. It's got the speed of a heavy mech, but it doesn't have the melee of a heavy mech. It's got, in fact, I think that's what you want to talk about. I'll give you that one to talk about. Sheriff. Yeah.
No, I think you've said as much as it needs to be said. Like, the melee weapons are just so powerful. Like, and as well as that, like, whenever you're using, because there's plenty of slow mechs that use melee. I mean, you can look at in the medium class the Centurion. It still only runs at 64, which is comparatively slow for a melee mech, and or the Hatchet Man, and they just kind of suck, to be honest. So to make melee viable, one of the key characteristics is that you have a very fast mech. And that's where the Banshee, the Highlander vest, is a perfect example of it. I know it kind of cheats because it uses the supercharger, but still. No, I think to be fair, you've hit all the main points I was thinking of, but certainly melee, I think, is the one for me that's like.
Yeah, I know. You're
pronounced.
like our melee guy. So wait a second. This is probably something the sheriff might have some thoughts on. But yeah, it's a rather specific. Like the answers are specific, but nevertheless, like those are the advantages of using a. I'm getting a little suspicious about these enemies. Like a little worried about. I mean, we've beaten all of the missions before, so there's no way that these missions are all fucked up or something. But I don't know. Maybe a patch has fucked these missions up. But I'm a little worried about them. But I'm about to. The good news is I'm about to hit this last artillery. Let's see what the chat has to say about it. Glitch Online says. Oh, hold on. Let me squish these. Like, if it's already hard enough to try to... Really? I can't squish this? Let me squish it. There we go.
Artillery garrison destroyed.
All right, one more group of artillery right over here. So they don't rotate? They just, like, snap into a totally new direction? That's kind of wild. I guess they just assume no one would notice it. All right, good news. The artillery is completely offline. The bad news is we have no idea where the remaining enemies are.
Let's take that tank apart.
I did detect a tank, but I literally lost it. Look at these are mech bays.
Yeah.
These could have been usable, but all right, I'm gonna see if this is one of our remaining 6 enemies. It's right over here.
Good chances when you kill him, it'll trigger the rest of them to spawn.
It did not count. Wait, no, it did not count. Very sad face. I'm hoping that it's not bugged out. One, because I hate it when the game is like bugged out on missions, and 2, it's also a huge waste of time. But it also captures problems with the game on live footage. But we need to check the northern parts of the map. All right, let me see what people are saying. So. Glitch says, I've always seen true heavies as line holders and fast heavies to be push and take ground. Yeah, there are many ways to look at it. The faster heavies are just kind of like, I've always seen them as kind of like the bullies. Like they go around bullying small mechs that are smaller than them, like attacking other other scout mechs and whatnot. Freddy 4x4 says, I think there's a fine line between speed and combat ability. If you're fast but you can't do enough damage to remove your enemies, then the speed is irrelevant. Definitely agree. There's such a thing as wait, why did they just now generate just now? They're landing very close to you, and I am on the other side of the map, so I'm gonna make best speeds there.
Yep.
I definitely
There's
agree.
only 3, I think.
That too much speed can make you irrelevant. The area, one thing is like reconnaissance isn't really a thing in this game, so we don't have to worry about like ultimate speed for the purpose of like we don't really need to worry about mechs that have like extreme speed at the cost of That's a pretty nasty group they've sent in. They've got 2 Orions, I think a Blackjack and a
No, it was a Orion and a
Battlemaster in there too.
Blackjack and a Battlemaster, yep.
We are still pretty far away. We are like 2 kilometers away. And you got 2 Igors. 2 AC-10 Igors attacking as well.
Yeah, they're the most annoying thing.
I'm about 1.5 kilometers away.
So annoying losing around.
Elchajol says, fast, lightly armored scouts only work when there's like a fog of war. Yeah, I definitely agree. There has to be a reason for either. There either has to be a reason for observation, which would be, you know, a fog of war issue, or there has to be reason for, you know, like spotting people. But if you need to spot people, then there's also like some kind of fog of war type element as well. How is the heat holding up right now? Because, like, you know, like you've been in a really long fight.
Okay, I was able to just disengage for a little minute and get myself back again.
It seems your reputation is well earned, Commander. Continue to
Well,
sweep our
that was a pain in the
embassy
ass.
for any possible
Wait, we
hostiles.
have to go to the evac?
My dropship Bill's Cornier once we land.
Switch
We
the
must
other-
prepare for the battle ahead.
Oh, he's not that close.
Yeah, I'm like the fastest guy, so
Eh.
kind of annoying
Yeah,
that they
I would-
didn't land at the base, which would have been like kind of in the middle of us. But how did
Couldn't
that
escape
fight
from
go?
there.
Since we didn't get to see it, how did that fight go?
Not too bad. I just like blew the head off the Battlemaster, got the two helicopters, which blew up one of my arms and two of my weapons, of course, and then got ambushed by the other two. But I was able to use the Infernos to overheat the Orion very easily, and then just like finish him off. And then the Blackjack was kind of already beat
So
up.
you'd say
Mauler.
that the sulfur biome was working against the enemy mix?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's a really big deal for the Inferno weapons. I think Infernos really punish enemies in these hot biomes, like the sulfur biome, volcanic biome. Let's see what we can salvage. What do we need? We need urban
That
mech,
Battlemaster?
spiders,
Oh,
and
can't get
fire
it.
starters.
Can't get the
Oh, we
Battlemaster,
can't
that's
get
annoying.
this Battlemaster. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but
Ooh, I crashed. That's...
Cicada, Vindicator, Centurion, Enforcer, Trebuchet, yeah, so none of these are applicable, so... We'll take the Orion, and then I think, I don't know, like, I'll just grab some of these. These AC2s are of decent quality. I'll grab an AC2, and I'll grab a medium laser. So we took about 1 million C-bills in damage, but fortunately I did take some damage coverage, so that takes about half of the damage off, so that's actually not too big of a deal. Let me send you a new invite.
Yeah, just loading up. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me know if you need another one.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay, send you another invite.
There we go.
Oh, we can't repair here? We're in the middle of nowhere? Oh, yeah. I guess we're not allowed. I thought we were allowed to repair in... Maybe it's because it's not a combat zone or something?
Yeah, I think so it is.
Let's just go right over here. And we can get some repairs in. So, Operation Onata 2, we need to... Yeah, we're fighting the Ronin. I guess they haven't had enough... we should have some replacements, but
I've already done that one.
Oh, you're already doing the Orion?
Yeah, it's already done. Yeah.
Okay.
I just put a tier 0 on, to be honest.
All right, let me see what we've got for sale in here. I don't think we need any of these. We already have an Orion VA. Yeah, we got a VA. We have a awesome 8. Let me see what these rare mechs are real fast. I need to make a habit of checking out these rare mechs. So it's a Zeus. An 8T. Do we have the 8T? Awesome 8T? No, we don't have the awesome 8T.
No, we don't.
All right, let's acquire an awesome 8T. Unfortunately, we do have to pay the markup, the despised by Steiner 20% markup, but, you know, we'll take that. Let's see what's interesting about this mech. Oh, this one looks like it could benefit from Lost Tech. So this one has 2 large energy hardpoints and 2 large missile hardpoints. So that actually doesn't seem awful. That doesn't seem awful. I definitely think we could do something with that just because it's got a healthy quantity of hardpoints. Do you want to modify that one?
Sure, throw them in the bin, bring them out, and I'll get them built. I'll keep this one as...
There you go. In it goes.
Yeah, let's see.
While he's doing that, I'm
Kinda-
going to go ahead and check some of these other locations.
Talking smack on the hot loads recently, so let's see about that.
Yeah, we have been avoiding the hot loaded. I will say that. We need Centurions. We don't need the AH. Let's check over here. It's a rifleman. We don't need anything over here. All right, let's go over here to get some cantina missions. That'll also give the sheriff some time to finish the customization. So we need to collect 2 crabs, kill 5 champions, kill 40 VTOLs. That's pretty easy. Kill 5 champions. That could take a while. A champion's not a super common mech. Collect 2 crabs. That one I might need to buy them. Crabs are not very common. Like, they are a Star League design that, unfortunately is kind of disappearing. Okay, so it looks like we will have to travel back and forth between Degolon and the other location. Let's see what chat's saying. Glitch Online said, a teacher of mine once said multitasking is an illusion. Yeah, that is true, technically. Multitasking, I mean, it literally can be done, but your brain can, for the most part, only concentrate on one thing at a time. And when you multitask, from what I understand, you're technically bouncing your brain back and forth between the 2 tasks. Like, when I'm talking a lot and playing the game, I am basically allowing my subconscious mind to operate the game. Or the other way around, if I am playing the game, focusing, and I'm trying to talk, then I'm attempting to communicate with my subconscious brain, or subconscious mind. That doesn't work very well at all. It's time for glory. Ronan and Mech were engaged in... okay, so this might be one of those big battle-type missions, I think.
Like those ones.
If you really want a bull shark, just ask, then you're going to want to download a mod that allows you to buy a mech of your choosing when you want it. That would probably be the best way to do it. All right, so we've got 325 tons to work with. We are back on a sulfur biome. It's going to be a little spicy. A little spicy. I think I'm going to use the Stalker 3FB, that, like, new one.
I'm going to use something that looks a little bit like...
Now, if you do use that mod, you will have to pay more. That's the penalty of the mod, is, you can buy any mech you want, but you have to pay a higher price. But honestly, it's probably worth it, to find the mechs you want faster. Let's see if I can do 2 Orions. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Wow.
You can actually do one awesome if you really particularly wanted to.
I kind of do. Let me bring in the 8R, just to bring a little bit of missile fire support. I actually don't think some of these fire support awesomes are that bad. They could work as a kind of like a worse version of the Stalker, like for your allies to bring in some fire support. That's kind of how I view it.
Yep, I completely agree.
Al Chajol says crabs mostly show up with the DCMS. In my experience, that is true. Typically I give... In my reviews, I give the color scheme to whoever the most common user is. Not always, though. Like, the flea is actually an interesting one. Now that I'm working on the flea video, I'm not sure if I want to depict it as a Free Worlds League mech or as a Capellan mech. Because on one hand, it was invented by the Free Worlds League, but production is no longer handled by the Free Worlds League. The production... Oh, man, my... This... No, it's fine. The production of the fleas is no longer handled by the...
There's a lot of mechs here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Probably need to clear one of our flanks. Watch out, they do have artillery. I'm gonna start burning this Centurion, I think. Oh. They're bombing me, which is not my favorite thing.
That VTOL is on our list of targets. Let's
How did I not take that out? I'm going to send our allies to deal with some of these aircraft. These are like some of my favorite missions. So this is a great example of I'm actually concentrating on the game, so it's a little hard to think. Now that I'm talking, I'm now subconsciously playing the game, and I'm no longer actively thinking about what I'm doing. One of the weaknesses of that is, while I can subconsciously play the game, I do get tunnel vision. So, like, one of the weaknesses of doing that is I might forget to check my radar, and I might not notice where the enemies are coming from, or if I'm about to get attacked from the side, or how the things are shifting. That's just some of the disadvantages of talking a lot. But at the same time, you know, that's what makes you a content creator or a streamer. You know, there are some silent streamers, but for the most part, they tend to be girls with giant boobies. If you want to get right down to it.
You know what that is? That's sexism. That's what it is. I don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah, just a natural disadvantage. I mean, I guess if you eat a large amount of food, you could eventually have boobies, and like, I guess you could be like some fat ass like male streamer. I don't think that would work though. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like Casio, for example, I don't think he's known for his massive boobies as the appeal of his streams.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
This catapult is not going to enjoy this heat. Yeah, that's right.
That's a nice mech.
He's feeling the heat now, like literally feeling the heat. All right, we got him. We're on the one of the artillery groups, surprisingly. I'm going for this Thunderbolt. If I remember right, the Thunderbolt has kind of okay-ish heat, but I bet it's like, it's not. Oh, he's got a pulse laser. Oh, he's shut down already. I'm cooking him. I'm cooking him. There he goes. Another dropship full of mechs, mostly light mechs though. One assault mech, it's a Cyclops Q.
That's the little weird guy it is.
I'm actually really happy with this mech's heat sinking. Originally, I built this mech with 2 PPCXs, but I figured that the 2 PPCXs was a bit bold, so I actually removed a PPCX and decided to go with for like a more heat-capable build.
What a funky Locust.
Like, I am busy just trying to kill these like armies of light mechs.
This thing is 2 strict SRMs.
He's coming in with like the early Lost Tech. Yeah, so we're going to be using Lost Tech earlier than we have in the past. We're going to be using Lost Tech by the Dragon's Gambit. Once we get the notification for the Dragon's Gambit, I will begin refitting the mechs. Probably not the same stream, but in between streams I will do it. That way we are going into the Dragon's Gambit with Lost Tech, and then when we get to clans, we will just immediately be able to switch into Clan Tech. I figured that would be a good way to do it. The armor on this mech is doing really well.
I feel like a number of our mechs could really do with Lost Tech.
I agree. I think that new awesome. I'm actually kind of hopeful for it. I actually think the Lost Tech is going to help it out a lot because I feel like it has too many hard points to use effectively. So like I think the Lost Tech is actually going to be a big benefit for it.
It survived?
Man, they are not done yet.
For some reason, in really good condition. The CCM must be doing a number.
And we've got helicopters.
Nothing to worry about, really.
Oh, here comes the cavalry, and the cavalry are like locusts. Imagine being deployed to like a massive battle as like a locust, as like reinforcements, knowing that everyone else is dead already.
Takeda's forces are defeated. Let's hope his samurai pride cares more about his men than continuing his quest to once again subjugate my people under House Kurita's boot. Return to
Sounds so
Gunzburg,
serious.
Commander. Let us wait to see if the Ronin will finally surrender to our forces.
That was a pretty cool mission. These are probably my favorite kinds of missions, just these straight up like battles. In some ways, I'm kind of glad they aren't a regular mission, because it does leave them kind of feeling more special. Oh, here's an enforcer. We need an enforcer. That's like our first enforcer. We also need this cicada. Can I get them both?
Hold that we
I can get them both.
got the enforcer in a friggin' DCMS
Yeah, that's true.
mission.
You know, you when we were fighting the FedCon or Federated Suns for so long, you thought you'd figure that would have been. We also can get this large pulse laser. It was only 2 salvage shares.
Nice. That's free real estate.
I guess I'll take this Streak SRM half-ton, and I guess I'll take a laser. There we go. Honestly, that went really well. And we basically were right at... the damage we took was basically the same as the damage coverage we got. This Stalker was really nice. I was actually really happy with this Stalker. With some Lost Tech, we could definitely bring that second PPCX online, but, you know, I feel like it was actually kind of okay the way it was. Oh, we can't repair, that's right. Off we go. Wait, let me put these into cold storage in case they charge me money. Okay. So... Okay, looks like there is a third battle. Looks like that wasn't enough to convince them to surrender. Oh well, more missions just means more opportunities to earn stuff.
Assassination.
Most likely. Like, that would be my guess. El Chajol says that the Flea feels like the best use would be as a pure infantry light vehicle killer. Packs of little buggers mulching up the infantry. Yeah, if the infantry played a bigger role in MechWarrior, I feel like in the lore, the Flea is supposed to be a scout, but I feel it is a bit slow. Not a bit. I feel it is rather slow for a scout. So now we're no longer in a sulfur biome. It's still on the hot side, though. We've got the arid canyon. If I understand it right, the arid canyon is hotter, but not as hot as the sulfur biome. We need to track down the Ronin, finish them. It doesn't give us a clear hint of what kind of mission this is. It could be assassination. It could just be, you know, like who knows what it could be. That Stalker wasn't bad.
Good. Neither was that Battlemaster. I enjoyed it too.
I'm going to try the new Awesome 8V. This Awesome 8V has a pair of decent quality PPCs and an LRM-20 stream. That leaves you with 100 tons, so you can pick whatever you like. I'm probably.
Do we want to just fire missiles?
I mean, we could. We could bring the Awesome Squad.
I bet you have a full Awesome Squad now. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we can do the Awesome Squad. Oh, you've got the hot loaded? Yeah, that's true.
The
We need
hot
to use the hot loaded a bit more. I don't know, like, but some people, so we do host usually daily surveys on what weapons people like. There are people who really endorse the hot-loaded LRMs. I haven't used them enough. I gave them a 1 out of 5, but, you know, I also confess that I did confess I'm ignorant on the subject, so I'm willing to increase the rating. Like, it might be a 2.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a 1 is
Yeah,
harsh,
it might
because
be.
like when I think of what's a weapon that you'd consider a 1? I'd consider like rifle burst fire would be like a 1 for me.
Yeah, like light rifle burst fire, medium rifle burst fire, maybe he's on 1.
Is dead, but his lieutenants are continuing his lost cause and threatening the day.
I think the standard Ultra AC5 could be a really low number. Like, I think it's a bit trash.
Ronin raids on civilians.
You know, I'm not really crazy about the standard Ultra AC5. I have used it on a Mauler, but I would have to try it again.
There's a good chance our targets
Okay, so yeah, this
Really
is
inaccurate.
definitely assassination.
The more locations on the map are the more
The accuracy loss is a really big deal, just because
they have many
it's the advantage of the AC5 is the accuracy.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Oh, I need to check for that.
Looks
Not
like
good.
we're in the wrong place, Commander. Our target must have given us the slip. Let's check out the other locations.
Seems like the PPC goes below my crosshair. No, I guess not. Maybe I was just off.
Destroyed. Target destroyed.
I love stream LRMs. I just like the way they look. They're a bit more accurate as well, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. One of the main reasons I like stream LRMs is I just like the way they look. Target is a toast.
That guy's so stupid.
He kind of reminds me of the Coltrane from Gears of War. I'm guessing that's kind of like his personality archetype.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Eltrajol says hot loads are good for mechs that have few backup weapons, or if the enemy is in that minimum range. I could see some logic in that. Like, you do have to wonder if you would be better off using SRMs in that case. But I could see, like, you know, if your mech is very boxed into weapons, the flexibility could be useful.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
The longbow is a good candidate for it? Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, like the longbow, I normally do a hybrid build on the longbow where I do 2 LRM 20s and then I also do 2 SRM 6s.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Why are there so many turrets here?
Destroyed.
Like this entire, it's like world of turrets.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
And junky vehicles. It's like world of turrets and junky vehicles. I just got super off course. I didn't realize I was going in the wrong direction. I am about 700 meters off of you. I'm going to work on catching up.
Destroyed. Target acquired.
I don't think it's here anyway.
Target destroyed.
There is a mech. Watch it. Looks like a...
Panther.
Panther.
I'm going to launch missiles at the Panther as I approach. That is the advantage of LRMs. I just love seeing the streams of LRMs. It's just like, it's so good. I love just seeing them all. Like, I love it so much more than the burst fire. It's like the burst fire is just not as satisfying. There's no other way to say it. It's less satisfying.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
How is that mech working for you so far?
Uh,
Target
do you know when it comes to LRMs, I just want to hurt myself LRMs, to be honest.
Nearly there, Commander.
That's
You
kind
want to use you want to get into those SRMs?
No, but if I'm losing like long range missiles.
Oh, you want Artemis?
Ready to start
Yeah.
pickup operations.
Have you had a
They're so
chance
much
to use the
better.
hot loads up close?
Not up close yet, no. Things seem to die.
Oh
before I
my
get them.
god, this target is over 3 kilometers away.
Have you got any more community questions?
Speak of the devil, well, let me read the chat first. So, let me see what chat is saying. Glitch says he loves the flea. It's a menace. Freddy says he's got to go to work. Wishes us the best. Thank you for watching, Freddy. Eltrajol says the flea's small size is useful as a infantry killer. Could go where other mechs can't go. I think that the Locust would still do better because, like, the Locust has 2 machine guns. I think it would still do the job better, and it's faster. Glitch says, I feel sub-mechs will shoot below the sights. Like, it felt like that. You know, I'm not sure if I was just, like, coping on it, but it felt a bit odd. Elder Joel says, try the Longbow RCX with hot loads. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. All right, speaking of community questions, let's look at our community questions. What is the rarest mech in the game in terms of the lore? So not necessarily in terms of... I mean, I guess the gameplay mechanics or gameplay rarity could play a role, but also mainly looking at it from a lore perspective. So this one could be a bit opinion-based. I'm sure there are some, you know, definite answers there. I don't know what you guys think, chat. I'm not sure. Like, let me think about that.
We're talking about a mech in the game that's like super rare in the lore. Is that what the
a mech
is?
that is? Let me see who the
game.
person who asked the question. The person who asked the question is Sneaky Panda. No, not Sneaky Panda. Commander BG. What is the rarest mech that is in MechWarrior 5? Not the rarest mech of all, but the rarest mech that is available in MechWarrior 5. Now, I do have one technical answer.
Might be the Night Star, no?
That's a good one. I think the Night Star is a good one. The Atlas 2. Like, that should basically just not really... There shouldn't really be any. I mean, of course, there's always the possibility of, like, or the probability that, like, some were left behind or not found. But the Atlas 2 was made in very small numbers, and the records on the Atlas 2 is that they all went with Alexander Kerensky into his Exodus. So that is a mech that should be very rare. Another one, this is a very technical one, is the Bull Shark, because the Bull Shark's canonicity is unclear. The Bull Shark was made by the BattleTech 2018 game, so it is not necessarily, not necessarily, it just isn't an original battle mech. However, I don't think that means that a original battle mech could not be added, but its canonicity is questionable. But it is a very rare mech because it appears to be a clan mech, which explains its kind of unusual clan-like appearance, despite being mostly inner sphere technology.
That probably goes for a lot of like the sort of Royal SLDF mechs, you know, like the
That's true.
SRB Warhammer, which is like horrendously hard to find. Or what about like some of the
Awesome battles.
Highlander? There's a Highlander that's technically one. This is like, yeah, I'm not really enjoying this pounding I'm really receiving. I'm just gonna hide behind those guys.
I'm backing up as well. It's awesome battles. Like, I'm lucky if I have any ability to aim because I'm constantly being hit by PPCs. You know, surprisingly, this mech's heat is not that bad. I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh, I can get close and fire ailerons. I forgot that. That's what
Yeah,
that's like.
yeah, like that's the whole specialty, is that you can get close and let them have a hot load get a hot load on them. It seems pretty accurate up close.
It feels. Well, that was very accurate.
You just
Holy
sprayed
crap.
the shit out. I saw that. You
No,
just like
that
sprayed the
was-
shit out of them. I guess if you're at point blank range, how can you miss?
Good work, Commander. Withdraw from the area as soon as you are able.
Maybe it's like
Reached an agreement with the
a better LRM because it fires so many. Or a better SRM, I mean.
terms of surrender.
That's what some people have made the argument. Like,
Combine.
we'd have to. Like I said, it requires some testing.
Staunchest Kiritan samurai can refuse this offer. For the first time since our nation's formation, we may finally be at peace.
This guy's so grumpy.
That bounty is ours. Farhad will break open.
These guys are not really surrendering. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't really feel like very surrendered to at the moment.
No, it's a little bit hostile.
Damn, I got some guy behind me who's like beating the shit out of me. I'm trying to like hide my rear armor, but Let me knock this guy out of the fight real fast.
Target destroyed.
Hell of a shot.
All right, I'm targeting that Wolverine.
Solid copy. Let's smash the priority target.
It's an elite Wolverine too, so... Oh, he snuck a hit behind me. How annoying is that? Fortunately, he did not... Oh, he did get the side torso with the LRM. That's annoying.
Target fire started. Target acquired.
I don't think the AI did that on purpose. It was good tactics by the AI, though I am very confident they did not do that on purpose.
Target destroyed.
Like, the AI coincidentally surrounded my mech, which, the AI is not smart enough to do that. So, like, it was basically that they scattered randomly about, like they often do. And in the random scattering, in the random choice of how they chose to scatter, they happened to surround my mech.
Acquired. Target destroyed.
And I wasn't able to stop them from hitting my rear armor there. That's the disadvantage of being a slow mech, though. If you're wondering, like, you know, like, what about being a slow mech? When you're a slow mech, you don't really have the ability to maneuver very well. 3 million C-bills. This Battlemaster, we can take it this time. So this is a Battlemaster 3M that has all of its weaponry intact, so that's pretty nice. Losing both of my weapons cost us 1.6 million C-bills. Our damage coverage shaves about 400,000 off of it. Still profitable, but not as good as it could have gone. In hindsight, what I should have done, what basically, if I could replay that, what should I have done? What I should have done is just stop shooting. If I stopped shooting, the enemy AI would consider somebody else a higher priority, and then they would have switched off of me. So we get an extra 3.9 million C-bills there, and we get what we wanted, the Orion 1M. Let's go over to... also, we did kill 25 harasser units. Get 1.7 million C-bills and the AC-10 Burst Fire Tier 5. It's pretty good. War Dog levels up to 8, so we are almost done with that. Let's go over here to somewhere to repair. And also look at these new mechs. Let me see. Can I replace everything?
That Battlemaster kept all of his weapons. That's crazy.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy. We ran out of. Let me see if is there a big stream LRM I can use? Yeah, here we go.
What's the difference in this Battlemaster 3M and a 1G? Like,
Without my mod installed to check if it has any like benefits.
well, it has double heat sinks, but that's it. And has a few extra upgrade slots, but like and double heat sinks. I guess.
Do you have the mod installed that shows their?
I do indeed.
Oh, and it doesn't show anything else?
Just double heat sinks.
That might literally be the only thing then. Let's go. Sarna, Battlemaster. Let's read the lore on it. The Battlemaster 3M. Let's just search. 3M. There it is. The 3M is a basic upgrade to the Battlemaster utilizing Starleague technology introduced by Earthworks, incorporated to the Free Worlds League in 3049, so we probably shouldn't have it this early. The mech replaces standard heat sinks with double heat sinks. So that's the... and it would have case. Case isn't featured in this game, though. So, yeah, the double heat sinks are its main feature.
What's case?
Case is a specific system for, you basically pay some extra ton. I think you pay 1 ton, and you basically put your ammo inside of it. And when your ammo blows up,
yes.
the case basically directs the explosion out of the mech so that it doesn't blow up inside the mech. It basically blasts out of like a controlled portion of the armor. So it basically minimizes the damage. Basically... In exchange for weighing a bit more tonnage, you know, you're paying some tonnage for something that isn't a weapon system or a offensive weapon system. It protects you, or it minimizes the effects of ammo explosion. So, like, that's what you would use it for. So here's our Orion 1M. Does this thing have anything special, like with the mod installed?
Extra XL engine and double heatsinks.
That's pretty good. This seems like a pretty good one. Looks like it's got itself a NARC beacon. It's pretty neat. Oh, look, it's got a big-ass missile launcher in the arm. That's got. What does it look like? Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. It has, like, an extra jacket on the arm for the
like
missile
that
launcher. Yes, that's exactly what it's like. That Zeus SA-3, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
This almost could be an interesting mech overall. You could do multiple Infernos. I'm not sure what actually, I have an idea. I think I know what I'm gonna do with this mech. I'm gonna try something. Throwing it in. You want to modify the Battlemaster? I'll go ahead and bring it out.
Yep.
Here's the Battlemaster. I'm gonna do something with that Orion.
Orion.
Yeah, I got an idea. First, let's repair it. Wait, this isn't the right one. Got an idea. First, we will max the armor, which it was basically at maximum armor. Here we go. I'm putting a hot load in the arm. I'm going to give him a load of the hot load. And then I'm going to do a... SRM-6 Inferno. I'm going to do an SRM-4 Inferno. Let's go ahead and put our ammo on. 2 tons of ammo. Maybe 1.5 tons of SRM, just to kind of like eke out a little more efficiency. Let's go ahead and tune the armor real fast. I'm going to use this LRM-20 hot load as basically a giant SRM. We'll see how it goes. That's why I'm mixing the SRMs together. I'm just going to use it as a giant SRM.
That makes sense. It basically acted like that in that last mission, didn't it?
What kind of autocannon do I want to use? I think I want to use an AC5. I think AC5 is the safest choice. I need to make sure we have heat sinks, so I'm going to put 2 tons on. I'm going to do probably small lasers. Or maybe no lasers, because like it's going to get kind of... the weapon systems are getting a little ugly. I will say that. What if I do flamers? Nah, let's do small lasers. And then let me just put on a bunch of heat sinks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 heat sinks probably is still not enough. Do I want to make... If I drop the lasers, I get 1 more heatsink. I don't think 1 heatsink is going to be the difference maker. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This is kind of controversial. Let's do a... AC2 burst fire with 1 ton of ammo. 1 ton might not be enough, but it frees up 3 tons. It kind of annoys me that the ammo is there, so I'm going to do this for my own like pickiness. Okay, there we go. A little more, basically, even though I do want the AC5, the main feature of this mech is definitely the hot loads. Or the SRMs are the main feature here. So, we're going to, like, sacrifice that AC5 in order to have more heat sinks, because that's the main feature on this mech. So let's give that a try. Kind of weird. Kind of a weird build. Kind of weird. Let me go ahead and set the weapon groups. So the weapon groups are going to be these are going to be ugly weapon groups. This is not going to be very attractive looking. The AC2 will go first. The hot loads will go here. These will go here on chain fire, and then these will go here. So this is a 5 weapon group build, which is not my favorite. I typically like 4 at the most. 3 is really nice, but 4 is typically what I like at the most. But you know, that's just the thing about this. This Orion is kind of weird. So you know, what can you do? Our money is a little bit aggravating at the moment. We're losing a lot in storage costs. We're currently paying $2 million in storage costs. We're paying 4 million C-bills per billing cycle, which is not fantastic. I might need to move some mechs out. Probably move the champion out. Mainly because we're doing bigger missions. Okay, you know what? I'm going to be greedy. We're going to lose a lot of money in traveling fees, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go hit some of these larger missions. These missions where the stakes are higher, but the payout is better. Maybe we can just learn to live with the 4 million C-bills. It's not great, though. I'm not thrilled about losing 4 million C-bills per cycle. I will say that. Let's see what's in the Terra market. The Crab 27B. That is a Lost Tech Enhanced model. We're not going to buy that, though, even though I do need a Crab. Let's check these rare mechs real fast. They will be overpriced, but, you know, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to find. A Crusader. The 3L model. Annihilator. We're not doing the Annihilator, I don't think. Yeah, no Annihilator and no Cataphract.
That's one of the mechs I'm looking forward to doing, actually.
Another Annihilator. It's Catapult C1. Do we need that? No, we have the C1. Not surprising, that's a pretty common model. All right, let's go over here. This is a maximum difficulty missions over here. Well, hold on a second. What about mercenaries? Bounty Hunter. We're missing about half of them. We have the Dragoons. We've got Hansen's Rough Riders and the Dragoons are the most common ones here. Do we have this guy? Who are these? They got a paw as their symbol. Brian's Legion. We haven't fought these guys. Let's see if we can fish Brian's Legion out. This is a pretty high level area still, so it still suits our purpose. Let's see if they moved. They did not. Wait, Steiner versus Davion? That doesn't matter. These actually just look like really good missions to do in general. So we have multiple multi-op missions right here. So this actually just looks like a really good one in general. Scorched Earth, Warzone, Garrison Duty. And because these are multi-ops, there is a good chance that we can fish them Brian's Legion out. So I'm thinking this is pretty good. Also, it's fighting for Merrick, who is one of our allies in the Captain Alliance. So, you know, Merrick is kind of the third wheel on the bicycle, but like, you know, it's fine. We'll give him a hand here. So the first one we're going to do is Scorched Earth, Warzone, Garrison Duty. Let me get some of this, and maybe a little bit of damage coverage. We get 75% bonus because, one, it's a multi-op and there's hazardous weather going on. So, you know, this is going to be potentially a very profitable mission overall. So, a little bit about the biome. It is a Gravelite Valley in the dusk. I don't know what that means. Unfortunately, they don't tell you if there's any temperature effects. You just kind of have to figure it out for yourself. I don't know if anyone's made a list of the new biomes either. Let me see. Kind of want to try my new weird mech out. Might be a little risky to try it out here, but I might do it anyways.
Try my new one as well.
This is a ×3 mission, so, you know, a little bit of stamina will probably do us some good. But we can send them in awesomes, because that's kind of the purpose of those awesomes. These awesomes are great, are going to be pretty good as fire support mechs. Same with some of the stalkers, while we can use the more aggressive models. Let's get into it. Yeah, I agree with Elchajol. Elchajol says this is a pretty high-level mission for Brian's Legion. Says the main thing is that they're incompetent. Maybe that's why they're here in this high-level mission. Oh.
Nope, and they're friends.
Try to stay out of our way. This is our mission.
The target is
Well, now we know why they're incompetent.
on your tactical display. Our employer wants us to leave nothing behind, so smash everything in sight. I will monitor your progress from here.
Of course it was me. Why else would it not be me?
Nothing like starting a mission with, like, a partisan right off the bat.
Target acquired.
You just get, like, welcomed into the mission with, like, loud clanging noises.
Target acquired.
There's your target objective.
Another
Doctor.
partisan, wow.
Why don't you go over and introduce yourself?
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target acquired.
All right, here's our... Oh, it's a demolition mission. I thought this was a death match. There is a Banshee, but it's not a very good model. It's one of the weaker models.
Hell of a shot.
Destroyed. Target acquired.
All right, here we go. I'm going to give them the hot loads. Have some hot loads. It's interesting that the missile has a strong tendency towards... He's in my way. He's in my way! It has a strong tendency to aim low. I don't know why, but it just does. We managed to overheat him, which is nice. That's a lot of missiles on his back.
Target destroyed. New target Wolfhound.
I'm like just spraying. It kind of feels like I'm just trying to pee on him. It's like I'm firing a stream of pee on him. It's like, it's not like, it is a thing. I'll just leave it at that. It's a thing.
I really don't think it's that good.
Reactor hit. Explosion imminent.
It's weird that the missiles have a strong tendency to go low. It keeps hitting their legs. Currently, I don't have a strong enough opinion about it. That's what I'll say. It is a little bit amusing to use. I will say that. It is amusing to use. One thing AC2 burst fire is great for is ripping up these buildings.
This complex is on the verge of collapse.
You can just spread those shots out and cause a lot of damage. Is it because it's arm mounted? Asks El Chajol. Possibly.
Destroy this area.
I mean, we'll have to compare it to other potential mounts. We did a good job on destroying this base, I will say that, once we smashed through their initial defenses.
Yeah, the lady waste it.
He hasn't said the line in a while. I'm a little mad about it. He's like, target is a toast. The heat on this mech is pretty good, I will say that. That's one of the things I was worried about, if you recall. Yep, he just said it.
There we go.
Target mech is a toast.
Yeah, he's a good worker. He just like listened exactly to what his employer wanted.
He's like, he said the thing.
He said, yeah, that's right.
I will say it is amusing when you fire the full volley of hot loads into their rear armor. I don't know, there's just like, there's like a visual satisfaction of it.
I really like an archer, to be honest. Archer's a mech I enjoy. But he's dead, so he can no longer be enjoyed.
All right. I mean, for the first test of this mech in a pretty, like, pretty high-level mission, I would say I'm optimistic about it.
It's a bit
Optimistic.
hot. I think it's the PPC's fault for being tier 0.
In we go.
The window for extraction is closing. Let's get out of here.
I didn't make very good use of the lasers, I will say that. Probably because I'm not as familiar with using fortified weapon groups. Like, it's like my muscle memory for it isn't as good. But I could have made use of the lasers a bit more. We'll take the Hunchback, and I think we'll let the rest of this roll over unless I see something really interesting. Pulse laser. Let's let the rest of this roll over.
Warzone.
All right, so this one is the war zone. All right, so is there anything special about this mission? Wait, what did it say?
You have another salvage point to spend.
Oh. Yeah, let's go and do that. There we go.
Yeah,
More
negotiation point.
we're gonna have like 95 salvage. It's gonna be good. We have to like hopefully they send us something interesting to fight though.
Do we want to stock? Just like max stalkers.
We could do that. Which stalker do I want to do is the question.
I want to use the Chem laser one.
Oh yeah, the Chem lasers. I might. Do we have a long range one? Well, I should probably leave that for the. I'm going to use the weird one, and then I'll give them. Do we have any long range models? I'm going to give them some of these long range models. I kind of want to like the stalkers are all like the close range models, so I kind of want to. Well, okay, I'll let them use this one. This is one of the long range stalkers. There we go. Like the irony is not lost on me that the stalker has kind of like a phallic shape to its like build.
Yeah, it's a bit dickish.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit on the dickish side, and it's like a stalker. It's even worse in the old versions of the stalker. This version of the stalker, they balanced its like body, they bulked it up a bit. The other version, I don't know, it just looks like a massive wang on legs.
Friendlies under assault from hostile forces. Link up with them and hold off the enemy advance as long
Grabbing
as
the cargo here real fast.
sure not to overextend yourself, Commander. Eventually,
Ordering our guys to attack.
back to the evac point.
Target acquired.
So right off the bat, we got to kill some idiots, huh?
Acquired.
Wait, my weapon groups aren't correct. I guess I forgot to set the PPC. Wait, no, it was there. It just didn't. It was there. It just bugged out.
Where's this guy going?
You've heard of like 4D chess? This guy is 2D chess. He's like the Commando 2D chess.
I think 0D chest now he's dead.
And then I got shot in the back a lot because I'm like confused about my
Okay.
weapon group. It wasn't even my fault. Like I set the weapon groups correctly, but it just unset them.
Moving in, Commander. Get ready for the
Right, I guess we just go in front of the base. It's a strange map.
Damn, we gotta kill 22 enemies. That's a lot of enemies. Unless they're mostly vehicles, which they could be. So like, I've got an ECM, so I guess I'm like encouraged to like.
Target acquired.
That had to sting.
Destroyed.
Wait, yeah, maybe I can get them to like. If I can lock onto them, maybe they can take it out and I won't get shot. Yeah, use the LRMs on it. There we go. Look at them do it. They're making it happen. Yeah, just launch those LRMs.
Nearly there, Commander. Approach the hidden object to pick it up.
There, I'm spotting for them and everything.
start pickup operation.
I hate it when the AI fires their LRMs without a solid lock. I mean, I do it every now and then myself, but like they do, sometimes they can do it pretty frequently.
New target blackjack.
I think that was a blackjack. I don't know what they're dropping, but they at least have a blackjack. Also, we do have some allies that have absolutely no armor, but they are allies.
Oh my
A
god.
Banshee and a Charger. It's the crummy Banshee, though. It's not the good one.
That will leave a mark.
Tango.
I'm going to go through the woods so that it's harder for them to shoot me, I think. What do I want them to focus on? I might target that Charger
That target, Commander.
just to get him out of here. I'm switching to the Blackjack because he's exposed. Switching to the Banshee, it's coming in on the base side.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
You guys have that under control. I'm fighting the Charger. The Charger's interesting because it's one of the mechs that has a handheld weapon. Got him? Like, handheld weapons do exist in the Battletech universe, though they're not as common.
Does the Phoenix Hawk seem to like almost like carry a gun as well?
Yeah, it's like some of the unseen have handheld weapons, because as I said, BattleTech's origin comes from Fist of the, I think it's called Fist of the Sun, Dugram and Macross, and like they were using handheld weapons, and so like eventually they made hard-mounted weapons more dominant, but like hand-mounted weapons certainly still exist. There are rules in the tabletop for hand-mounted weapons too, or for handheld weapons.
Are they better or worse, would you say?
I don't play the tabletop, so I have no idea like on the specifics for it.
You just
But,
know that such
um,
rules exist.
Yeah, I just know that such rules exist because like that's like the origin of BattleTech. I think I'm going to focus on the Battlemaster, ordering the Lance to hit the Battlemaster.
Well, he's nearly headshot.
Okay, he's on me. I'm switching
He
to
is.
the Warhammer. There, I shut the Warhammer down. The
I'm a
Warhammer's
big
out.
believer in just blasting them in the legs.
Yeah, I
Really
actually
legs.
switched to the legs after that.
Enemy reinforcements spotted in the area. They look like they're heading your way. One of our assigned targets is flying in.
Okay, we got 3 helicopters coming from one direction, and then I guess we got that mech from the other direction.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
The mechs are a Jenner and a Phoenix Hawk. I don't know the other mechs that have handheld weapons, but like you will see them periodically. Now in MechWarrior 5, they don't depict handheld weapons. Like that's not like a mechanical rule, but like
It's just like graphically almost.
yeah. They just designed it's just an aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, aesthetic, yeah.
Target acquired.
Oh god, I'm hitting my allies with Infernos. Down he goes.
Destroyed.
Where'd the other guy go?
He is weirding out inside the base, going all wacky on us.
Hostiles inbound. Brace for contact, Commander.
They're dropping a dropship behind us, and then there's the enemy in the base, and then there's enemies on the corner of the map on the far side, so they are kind of attacking from both directions. This is probably all their remaining forces as well, to be honest.
Target
I think I'm going to lead our guys to fight the, yeah, there's some bigger mechs here. We got a Zeus and a Thunderbolt behind us. I think I'm gonna hit those guys just before they like do some kind of surround us bullshit.
Target Zeus.
This Zeus's LRM-15 will be useless once I get into close range as well. Oh, he shut down. Very sad face. Many are the faces of sadness. Setting him on fire. I could barely see him. He's so covered in fire.
SRM 6s.
It's a lot of heat.
Inferno. This is a nasty mech. This really is a nasty mech.
Target Phoenix Hawk.
Like, Inferno teams are really nice, because, like, when you get everybody launching the Infernos simultaneously, it's just like, don't even bother. Like, he shut down midair.
Ooh, that's not good. I need to just chill out a little bit here.
There he goes. He overheated as well.
I have an armor breach on my arm.
All that's left is that Jenner. If you want to get ready to take us out of here, I'll go in and hunt that Jenner down.
Sure thing.
That Jenner is, like, hopelessly trapped on the inside. Like, he has no hope of getting out of there. Oh, never mind. I am full of cap. Wait, never mind. He might be just getting trapped in a different location of the same place. Down he goes.
From here on out, we're wrapping
And
up
I
this pair.
happen to be right beside the.
You know what would be great is if they showed us where the dropship would be,
Contracts
like, ahead of time. That would be great.
Yeah,
Like, why doesn't Rihanna tell us this is where I plan to pick you up?
She's a bit of a bitch, isn't she? Really, let's be honest.
She's like, oh, it's just totally random. Like, she's like, you want me to tell you where you're gonna get picked up? I don't even know where I'm gonna pick you up. 2.2 million C-bills and a light rifle tier 3.
We also have one more mission, so if you want to carry some more stuff over, you still can.
Oh, look at this nice PPCX.
The last one's a defense. Once you need some more PPCXs, we kind of like destroyed a lot of them. Well, let's say me destroyed one of them.
I might grab some of these. I don't want to have too much rollover. Like, I'll roll a little bit over, just because, you know, we could get screwed. I'll roll 41 salvage over.
Heads up, Commander. Weather conditions in the area will restrict visibility.
Throwing all of these into the bin. So this last mission, okay, here we go. We got what we were looking for. Payout is 14 million C-bills. 14 million C-bills is way too many C-bills. It is a good indicator that we are going to get attacked by Brian's Legion in this battle. I'm going to leave our damage coverage at 900,000. I'm going to negotiate out of it and into more salvage. That gives us 104 salvage. We could get screwed if they don't give us enough mechs for salvage, but at the same time, that's the juicy 104 salvage. The juicy 104 salvage. Defiant, he's one of the people who is in our anime watch night. Once again, there's an advertisement. Here's another link to the Discord. If you'd like to be part of our anime watch night as we look at the history of the real robot genre, how mech entertainment came to be, we are going through the original Mobile Suit Gundam series, the grandfather of the real robot genre. Anyone can join. It's on Tuesday and Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. Let me see. What am I going to use? Kind of in the mood for something a little more long range. Haven't done anything long range in a bit. The M is still undergoing repairs. You know what? I haven't used your hot loads. I'm going to use your hot load. And then I guess I'll put them in the awesome crew, I guess. I mean, why not? The awesomes are mainly there for our allies to use anyways. Even though we're all using assault mechs, we're still very underweight by comparison, considering these are very lightweight assault mechs. But we don't really have much in the way of extremely heavy assault mechs unless we can get our hands on a bunch of bull sharks. This is about as heavy as it's going to get. Not that that's necessarily a problem. Like, you know, just because a mech is heavier doesn't strictly mean it's better. Like, I would be more than happy to use Stalkers and Battle Masters over Atlases, for example. Defiant asks, I wonder what weapons they're going to bring in the next DLC. Like, he's curious about the next DLC. I have a very strong feeling one of those weapons is going to be Artemis. Does that mean we are going to get Clan Artemis and Inner Sphere Artemis? No, what am I saying, Artemis? We are going to get Arrow 4. What am I saying? I do have a strong feeling that one of them is going to be Arrow 4. Mainly because they're just, you know, they're going to import, they're going to import the weapons over. Okay, here they come. Get ready, big fight, big fight. They're dropping right on top of us.
That's useful.
Good news is I can use this wall to block the enemy's line of fire, and they are, who are you, I'm going for this Stalker. They are all focusing on me, so I am getting out of here. I don't want them all to focus on me. I don't agree with this at all. Breaking contact right now, going through the wall. I have broke contact with them temporarily. They are destroying the wall, though.
They're on me, they're on me, they're on me. Come back,
They're
come
on
back.
you.
No, on you again.
All right, I'm going to back into the wall again. Okay, thank God there's still some wall remaining. I am in the wall. They are still hitting me, though.
Okay, they're on me again.
All right, throttling up.
One of the stalkers is down. They're really on me now. I gotta lose a leg here.
That should be enough to finish him off. Oh, that accuracy was so bad. I saw that. The accuracy was so bad. Ammo explosion. That doesn't sound very good. I am taking cover from this guy. And there's another one. Man, the double Stalkers is not good.
Back on me again.
Oh, he's got Infernos. Even better. Oh, he's on me again. I am backing into a, I'm going to try to. Nope, he got me. This awesome was not it, let me tell you. Like, the hot loads were not it. I'm probably going to have to use, like, you know, a close combat mech. Wait, can I switch? Can I switch to someone else? How do I switch? Where did my mouse go? I can't. My mouse is not here. Where'd my mouse go? I don't have a mouse. My mouse is gone, so I can't change. I can't change because they're not giving me a mouse. I mean, like, Chef is, like, still fighting through them. Not that it would matter, though. We'd have to kill 22 more enemies.
I'm not healthy anymore. I think it's just about a restarter.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's choose different mechs. We gotta choose different mechs. That's what we got. We gotta use, like, we gotta use better mechs. Like that hot loaded awesome was a hot load of garbage, unfortunately.
It really isn't very good, is it?
I think that's the only way I can describe that one.
I'm trying to, like, give it a chance, but, like,
I mean,
really
well,
don't
we
like
have to
it.
give it. I mean, like, we have to use it. Well, we have to use it. People said the hot loads are good. We have to use them. So, you know, I feel no loss in status or pride at all because, like, we have to use them.
I think they're just a bit shit, to be honest.
I mean, even if we use good mechs, that's gonna be a tough fight. They send some of the fat ass
Right, tell you
mechs.
what. I want one of these things that like has like more burners on it than like it even knows what to do with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of our better mechs because like that is a fat ass lance they dropped on us. What am I gonna do? I'm not using an awesome. Do I use a battle master? I think I want to go on a fire build as well. I think that might be I think that's the play. So that means I'm actually going to use one of these. So I think I'm going to use the Orion Yadge. That's fine, too. I need to use the Orion Yadge. So because they have such an aggressively close combat focus right now, I think I'm going to send everyone in close combat. Everyone's going in. All close combat mechs. Let me see if there's any other options. This mech seems unmodified. There's no way I would load this mech up the way it is. Large lasers, medium lasers, SRM6, LRM10. This mech has not been modified. This is that looks like a stock config. So I'm going to unpaint. There's a mech here that this is going to get unpainted. I'm going to unpaint it so that I know that this one hasn't been properly modified, because I would never load a mech up like this. Let me see. Yeah, the armor is missing 106 armor. There's no way that mech must be unmodified. Okay, let's try this again. So Brian's Legion was like hearing everybody talk. It's actually chat's fault, you know, if you want to get down to it. Someone in chat said that Brian's Legion was incompetent. This is actually the chat's fault.
Lock and load, Commander. Enemy forces have just tripped the outer
Let me see
perimeter
how
wall
the
and are almost
heat
to
feels.
your
Pretty
position.
spicy, but you
We
know,
anticipate that
it's
their
gonna have to be
objective is
spicy.
to raise this facility to the
Yeah, it's
deal with it.
spicy.
You just have to deal with it.
But we'll just have to outspice.
Just cross the perimeter, Commander. They're heading your way.
What do we do here? Do we go out there and kill those guys?
No, they're gonna attack by the time we get there. Like we just gotta like waste them. Like they're going to get here. It's not gonna take them very long. And those enemies are not a big threat. Yeah, see, they're already coming. They're not that big of a threat. Like one of them is a charger and one of them is a hunchback. They are not the threat.
Right.
All right, we gotta concentrate attacks. Just tell me who you're gonna go for. You want to go for the closest stalker? The closest stalker?
Whatever the first.
Right in front of us. Right in front of us. Let him have it. They're on me. I'm gonna go through the wall. Nice.
Dead. I'm going on the other one.
Generator has been destroyed.
Nice. We got him.
This Victor's on me. I'm just going to go for it.
You going for the Victor? Where is the Victor?
He's good. He's lost my leg. Okay, Ryan then.
Okay, that went a lot better. That went a lot better. So the enemy AI is too stupid to make it here, so they're still like taking their time. I'm sneaking my way over here to give him some. He overheated because he's well, I guess it's because you're getting hit with a lot of infernos. You don't have a choice but to overheat.
8 SRM 6s.
That was a lot.
Right on cue. VTOL on approach.
Roger that. Moving to smash that car.
All right, they're not on me, so I'm going to get a little closer. Oh, very sad.
I
face.
really-
Did he overheat already?
Really enjoy just spamming all these SRMs. It's so funny.
Very sad face.
Is that mech still overheating, is it?
All right, I got to play a little cautiously due to the.
Ooh, that thing's got PVC exits. Nice. It's also a leak, so maybe I just salvage a few nice ones.
Be careful.
My center torso is a bit burnt up, so I'm gonna play a little more opportunistically. But
I'm gonna burn this guy. See if that light does anything.
I'm burning him as well.
Like, overheat!
Yep, there he goes.
Lost his legs!
Oh, I overheated.
He overheated too. And, like,
I'm a
he
fool for overheating. I forgot that heat exists.
There's a crusader somewhere. Where the hell's that? Behind the base! They sneaked!
Target.
Yeah, let him fight the base. The base is at like 76%. It can handle it. What is this hunchback doing over here? Is it trapped? There's a hunchback that's just kind of like derping out.
Engage the hostiles to draw them off the buildings.
Damn it, they took out the command center.
What is happening to this hunchback? Is this hunchback trapped on nothing? I don't see any obstructions nearby. How would he be trapped on? He's just his AI just doesn't work. He's not trapped on anything. His AI just doesn't work.
Smash the priority target. Once you've found the targeted asset, move up to it, and we'll begin the recovery procedure.
Our damn allies, bunch of like suck ass allies, are taking their sweet time to get here. I don't want to like lead the attack on them. This guy's got infernos. He's got 2 infernos.
Headshot him.
There we go. Down he goes. Grabbing a cargo.
Cargo acquired.
New target.
So I guess that Crusader is the one doing the damage. It could be the Rifleman, actually. I'm not sure who's doing the damage, but someone's
They
doing
destroyed
some
one of the
damage. Yeah, the
They destroyed
Rifleman.
one of the cannons, I think.
Well, I guess that saves us from having to destroy it. So the Crusader is kind of inside the base, while the Rifleman is, being kind of coquettish on the outskirts. That's a Nikkei brain rot word. I'm bringing that one in.
Your encyclopedia, is it still going strong?
Must be good loot if we got it. Well, we got an AC5 level 3. I mean, I guess it's not the worst. It's a thing. What do you want to go for the Rifleman first?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna like make my way in between the two of them. just to
You know what
be
I'm gonna do?
honest.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell our allies to go for the Crusader while we go for the Rifleman. I kind of need we need our allies to get fighting a little bit so they can eat some of the damage.
Yep, fair enough.
Admittedly, I don't think they're gonna be capable of like making it there. I don't think they're gonna understand how to navigate there in an effective manner. I'm not helping the base condition by smashing through all the cargo, so I will.
Firing at Commander, please try to be more careful.
See, when they start yapping like that, it's kind of just to destroy the place.
Enemy mech.
I mean, we just need to keep it over 0%. 40% if we want the extra pay, but, this is fine. I do not have a view on the Rifleman yet. I'm getting closer, though. Oh, he's coming into... We already got him, wow.
Designated contact on screen. Moving to attack.
Crusaders
Holy
are
shit,
spicy
man.
boys, so, like, yeah, look, as I thought, these guys were not smart enough to make it here. His leg is
Always go
down.
for the legs. Get rid of those legs. Out of my way. Die, die. Goodbye.
Try to get the
Okay, we
attention
cooked
of
them.
as many opponents as
Certain mechs
possible.
just go for the legs, that's one of
We
them.
need to keep their attention on us.
A Demolisher heavy tank. 2 Demolishers.
That's pleasant. I'll go and destroy this other tank up here. The Scorpion.
We need to give us some vehicles so we can, like...
Acquired.
No, we don't really need this guy just like shooting us in the back, to be honest.
Yeah, I really would not enjoy it. Get in there and attack. There's like AI is just like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm gonna order him to go
Scorpion.
forward. I'm just gonna order him in there. Oh God, they just popped in.
Contacts.
They just popped into existence.
Taking out the fuel
Oh
reserve.
my god, look how many there is as well.
Roger that.
Oh my god, there's 5 of them.
Hostiles eliminated.
Okay, that's one Demolisher down.
See the target. Moving to take it in.
Target destroyed.
So we've got a Phoenix Hawk, a Quick Draw, a Wolverine, a Commando in the back, and a Griffin. Looks like the Wolverine and the Phoenix Hawk are going to make it here first. I'm probably going to use one of these orbital cannons for cover.
I would just start like sneaking behind the group and just blast them in the back, to be honest.
They're not paying attention to me right now.
That's us you just hit.
All right, I'm going for this Phoenix Hawk.
Great shot!
All right, I'm going to tell them to go for the Quick Draw, the heavier mech.
Gonna wipe it out.
I'm on this Wolverine. Doing the needful, sadly.
All right, I almost
Good
have
gun.
this Phoenix Hawk out of here. The Phoenix Hawk is toast.
Hostiles inbound.
Quick draw's easy enough. I'm gonna go destroy this. Guy over here.
Target Griffin.
Here comes the reinforcements on our right side. Reinforcements on the right.
Yes, jump. What a good idea that was.
Hitting him with a few extra SRMs. The enemies are dropping three heavy mechs. They are in range of us. It's an Archer, an Orion, and a Grasshopper. I'm kind of hiding a little bit.
Right, I need to hide. I'm gonna absolutely.
Okay, I'm not
blast them.
attacking these guys yet. Yeah, go into cover. Like, I'm gonna let our allies get the enemy's attention because like our allies are in good shape. I'm gonna ambush this Archer once they start fighting somebody. Oh, well, okay, no, he didn't shoot me. That was not a thing. Oh, using the AI is such a silly strategy, but it works. I want them to take a little more damage before I begin my attack.
Wow, I just got blasted. I don't even know where from.
Oh yeah, I'm on your side. Don't even worry about it. It's not even a thing. I don't think that's going to be enough to get him to target me. Yeah, he's still not enough to target me. All right, I got to start helping because they are taking damage now. Good. Good.
Target acquired.
Strike the designated hostile.
There we go.
I'm showing
That was
no
nasty.
mercies on the
That was a
scope.
nasty mission.
Well done.
Yeah, that extra Brian's Legion with the four, like, what was it, like, 4 assault mechs? Like 2 Stalkers, a...
Victor and something
No,
else.
two Stalkers, a Victor, and a Orion, I think.
Orion. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Taking advantage of the strange AI behavior of this game to sneak in a pretty low damage victory for how many mechs and the tonnage of the enemies. 9.3 million C-bills and AC5. That was the tier 3 we got. And we did knock Brian's Legion out. And we did salvage quite a few mechs. I don't think we need any of these, but let me just click down the list, I think. This
Oh, get that
PPCX
PPCX.
is nice.
PPCX
We're gonna
right
grab
now.
that.
We need that. So nice Inferno
Want
SRMs
that-
there as well.
Hot
Yeah.
Inferno SRM6.
Nice small lasers down there. Aside from that, the rest is gonna trash.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Maybe the large laser, I don't know. Up to you.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. These Orions, we can either use them or sell them. Either is fine. I'll probably sell them. I think we have enough Orions at the moment.
Yeah, I am also stuck in the salvage thing again, which is really annoying when that happens.
It's no
Can you
big
kick
deal.
me out?
So honestly, the funny thing is we only took 1 million C-bills in damage. That's actually quite good. For the amount of enemies we destroyed, 10, 11, 12 mechs. Obviously when you fight clans, you can fight way more than that, but it's mainly light mechs. These were like big mechs for the most part. Like, lots of big mechs. So, like, overall, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, sure. Let me send you a... So, let's send these into the pile. get you guys repaired. I managed to keep my arm. I was a little worried. How close was I? I was 3 structure off of losing that arm. What's this doing here? And over here, we didn't do that bad, to be honest. We did lose 1 SRM-6 Inferno, but we also gained an SRM-6 Inferno, so it's really not too big a deal. A higher quality one at that. I'll even buy an SRM-6 Inferno. Sort by tonnage. I know it's 3 tons. That's typically how I find them. This mech does really well, so I'm kind of tempted to just equip it with better ones. Well, no, it was the chem laser was the good one, so I'll do that. I'll do this. Revert. Repair. Remove. And add. Infernos are kind of hard to stock up on, I will say that. Not the easiest thing to do. Like, they're a bit on the rare side, but either way, like, the Stalker is very good with all of its... Wait, why is... Oh, we're not in a designated place that we can repair in? Okay, let's go over here. Cancel all repairs. Right, let's try that again. Let me go ahead and repair everything. And then over here... Repair, remove, replace. 3. You know what they really need for this game? A great quality of life would be if they just have a little area you can click and just type the name of the thing. I just want to type in Inferno. And like that would be great. And then I would be able to sort through it. We really need that. There's so many weapon variations and the tiers that like it would be really great quality of life if they just let me type in a name to filter through lists more effectively. That was not bad, though, overall. Mech Market. They're still selling that Annihilate. Yeah, I don't think they've updated their stock. This is the same stock that they had before. Also, Brian's Legion. I guess they had enough. Who else do we need? We have not taken this up. This is the Black Hearts. Let's jump over here and see if we can knock out the Black Hearts. Unless they move. They might. They did not move. Did they move? Yeah. They did not move. Unfortunately, neither of these look like viable missions, but they're both missions against our hated enemies, Davion and Steiner. Also, we got a pretty big boost with the Free Worlds League for that triple up. Almost took us an entire tier up, which is nice. Oh, well, we will do this next episode because we are walking up on our time. It has been 2 hours and 7, going on 2 hours and 8 minutes. So I think that is pretty good overall. The time in the game is 30:37, so we're already much closer to, we're already even closer to 30:39 where the next DLC is going to take place. We're probably going to be using a lot of the existing mechs we have now in that DLC, which is probably going to be possibly a bit difficult just because the Dragon's Gambit is not an easy DLC overall. But, yeah, I think that's pretty good for today. Here is another link into the Discord. You can talk about MechWarrior there. You could talk about other things there. I play a lot of other games as well, like Helldivers, for example. And like I said, you could join us for Anime Night on Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Anyways, I might stream again this weekend. I haven't decided yet. We're going to try to get the show a bit more consistent than it has been lately. Even if, sometimes the sheriff's busy. Even if he's busy, I'll try to, get a few more episodes in. That is the plan, though. As usual, thanks for being a great audience, and I will talk to you guys another time. Fox Sheriff, our dipping out. Deuces, everyone. And remember that you don't have to be good to get good.